Mushroom foraging is sometimes a battle against the slugs. Now in this area here, I have found a big patch of Porcini mushrooms. I'll show you in a second. We often call them the penny bun in this country, in the UK. And you can see some of them like this, very small. They're just coming through, but you can also see how they are already being attacked by slugs. There's one over here as well, which has had its cap just eaten off completely. There's a decent looking one there, quite small still, but that's not too bad. Up here, there's another slug battered one, very young. If I just take you around the corner here, there's another little patch under these oak trees here. So we've got some there. The slugs are just absolutely demolishing these. It's not always this bad, by the way. Obviously you can often find Porcini mushrooms getting to a really good size in fantastic condition with little or no slug damage. But slugs unfortunately do love the mushroom as much as we do. So it is part and parcel of mushroom foraging, especially when you're foraging for mushrooms like Porcinis, that you're going to come across them where they are slug damaged. But of course they're still absolutely fine to eat. One of the bigger problems is sometimes the slugs will eat them as they're coming through. And so if you just leave them in the hope that they'll get bigger, they can sometimes just get completely eaten by the slugs, and so they don't even fully form. And I have a feeling that with some of these down here in this patch, that will happen to them. So I am going to harvest some of these, especially ones like that, which are actually in pretty decent nick still, and small, but still a decent chunky size. And I'm going to make a nice Porcini mushroom soup. Here we go with the mushroom soup then. So I'm using 2 large cupfuls of the Porcini mushrooms sliced up, some olive oil just to cover the bottom of my pan, 2 tins of coconut milk, 2 onions sliced up, 4 garlic cloves sliced up, 2 teaspoons of thyme, 2 teaspoons of sage, and then 2 vegetable stock cubes mixed into about 500-600 millilitres of hot water. First up, we'll add some olive oil, just enough to cover the bottom and then a little bit extra. And then just add the onions and fry them effectively until they go translucent and maybe just start to brown off a little. I'm currently just using a medium heat, by the way. We'll then put in our Porcini mushrooms, and we're just going to cook these while stirring regularly until they shrink down to roughly half their initial size. They should give off some water, but if they don't and this pan gets a bit too sticky, you can always just add a drop of extra water. I'm then just going to add 2 pretty small teaspoons of sage and thyme, then the chopped garlic cloves, and then just going to straight away add in the stock, then the coconut milk, and then just give that a bit of a mix up, and then I'll just leave it and bring it to a boil. That's boiling now, so I'm just going to turn off the heat and let that cool off a bit, and then we just blend it up. That's been nicely blended now. Obviously you can add a bit of salt and pepper if you want to season it, but personally I find it's nice just as it is.